we don't really need anything else, so... where do I go for refueling? The yard supply. Fill up our fuel. And we have to go out to Oliveira. We can't go up to Wellspring, they still have the blockade in effect. So... Oliveira. Confirm the vector. Yeah. My nose is getting stuffed up. I don't think I'm sick, but I might be coming down with something. We'll see how it goes. Stop! Shadowed figure meets you in the docking tunnels. No saboteurs allowed. Oi, kid. Seraphim glides forward and ruffles the figure's hair. Still playing sheriff? Nah, just bored. Xander grins. What are you two doing here? He glides alongside you and Seraphim as you drift through the tunnel. Yeah, none of your business. Seraphim pushes past. No offense, kid, but you aren't actually the sheriff around here. You pass through the familiar doors and back into Oliveira. A surprisingly pleasant feeling. Oddly like coming home. You came! Cadence is there in the docking concourse, waiting to greet you. I'm impressed. Seraphim's face immediately erupts into an uncontainable smile. Guidance! He turns to you. You do remember each other, right? Sleeper saved the colony. Cadence's deadpan answer seems intended to cover for Seraphim's awkwardness. Yeah, I remember them. The four of you descend down through the docking tower together into Oliveira itself. The colony looks much the same as when you left, though you pick up from Cadence that changes are coming. Karman's back with a vengeance since Darkside, Cadence smiles. He's all about expanding it and improving the colony, which is why I asked you to come, Sarah. The nickname slips out, but both Cadence and Seraphim clock it and glance at you. As you reach the core of the colony, you see the increased activity. There are more colonists than you remember. They move back and forth with purpose, carrying crates and tools. The chatter less than usual. You know the help we can get to sort this place out. Cadence notices you watching the stream of freight and people. Karman wants to do some kind of event, an anniversary I think. Honor the founders and all that. Gonna be a big party, Xander grins. Can't wait. So, Cadence looks between you and Seraphim. What do you think? Up for some colony-mandated manual labor? She grins. Seraphim gives you a sideways glance, observing your response carefully. How could you say no? Alright, so... what do we gotta do here? Oliveira's independence. Oliveira is a new colony and it's still establishing itself. It needs all the help it can get to grow and thrive. Okay, so I can work at pretty much any of these. So I'm not working on that one. That one is for food. At the end of the day, we are an operator. Interface is our main job, so we'll get this one going. You work hard and quickly alongside the other volunteers, and the yields are good. Alright, I gotta use my own supply here. Okay. Glitch dice guide the way. Yeah, I didn't expect anything from that. Alright, end the cycle. And we'll do some work at the stacks. Working together to run the farm stacks is a job shared by many colonists. Everyone contributes and the colony makes sure they are fed. Oh sweet, I get energy from this one actually. I mean, I might as well just do this. The farm stacks are the heart of Oliveira, and you're rewarded for your work there with a delicious meal. You'll love to see it. You work hard and quick amongst the other volunteers, and the yields are good. Putting in good work. The random glitch dice go. Refinery is hot and working there is exhausting. You're glad when your shift is over. Fair enough. End the cycle. Alright. We'll use this one here. Six dice. 2 energy. Sweet. Finally shift. Do it again. Ooh, lucky. Sweet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 bars left to do. And the cycle. Hydro refinery. Actually, let's put the first one here to see if I can get some energy back. You know what? I'll take +1 energy. That's solid. We got 5s here. Do it again. And finish it off. A little bit more work in the refinery. Oliveira's independence is growing, thanks to the hard work of the colonists and you. The past cycles in Oliveira have been busy enough to take your mind off most things. All the heavy lifting and manual work has been a welcome distraction from the looming specter of the second reboot, and the good mood of the others has been infectious. Seraphim has been almost annoyingly upbeat. Relationship with Cadence, the worst kept secret in the colony. Working alongside them, it's hard to ignore their deep feelings for each other. Xander's been happy because he has something new to rib Cadence about, and Seraphim, with his self-serious manner, is an easy target for pranks and teasing. Xander also hasn't been able to stop talking about the party, which he already seems to have decided will be one of the highlights of his youth. But now, finally, the cycle of the party has arrived. The canteen is done up with hanging light strips, waving gently in the asteroid's microgravity. Strips themselves salvaged from the emergency lighting of wrecked starships. With the work stopped and all the colonists yet to arrive, you find the reboot filling your mind once again, roaming like a shadow. Something on your mind there. The voice takes you by surprise. You turn to see a colonist you haven't met before, an older man in some sort of supportive chair, his hair shot through with gray and his face sallow. I remember you, but I forgot your name forgot. Didn't mean to startle you. My apologies. His pale eyes scan you. It just seemed like you might need some company. The strange look in his eyes that you can't quite place. He's looking at you like you have met many times before. You've never seen him before in your life. Looks beautiful, doesn't it? He gestures to the canteen with its hanging lights, his chair propelling him forward with little puffs of air. The young people did such a good job. Warms my heart to see it like this. Never thought this rock could ever be a home. He looks sideways at you. Have we met? Us? He shakes his head. No. Sorry if I'm being a bit too familiar. He coughs a few shallow coughs. Just, you remind me of someone who did a lot for me. But let's not chat about me. I want to know about you. He turns his chair a little. What's eating you? The way you were staring at those light strips, it was like they're about to leap down and strangle you. His chuckle becomes a cough. Time is passing too fast. It'll do that to you, that's for sure. Just run away from you. He holds up a shaky arm. Out on some unknown vector. That's just the truth of the world, and so many other truths rest upon it. We have our time, some too much, some too little, but it's ours. In the end, it's all we have to our name. The colonist squints at you. Sorry, I'm not good with reassuring people. I just remembered that. He smiles. But I do like chatting. He looks back at the light strips. Really lovely, isn't it? Just beautiful. You look back at the light strips now. As the hum of people arriving filters into the canteen, there's something in the air. Anticipation. A sense of a rare moment passing through. Something to hold on to, and then let go. The light strips really are beautiful. When you turn back to the old colonist to agree with him, he is already gone. Oi, sleeper! Seraphim pushes through the now gathering crowd towards you. Got you a drink? He offers a pouch of some amber liquid. Hey! Cadence comes up alongside you and hugs you with one arm. I wonder where you were hiding? She smiles warmly at you with her infectious smile. You think about mentioning the old colonist to her, asking her about him. But Seraphim hushes the two of you. Calm's about to stop. You follow Seraphin's eye to the front of the canteen, where, above the heads of the now quite large crowd of colonists, Karman floats, surveying the room. We meet this cycle, Karman begins, his voice loud but clipped, formal in a way you haven't heard before. To first remember those founders of this colony, those lost and still with us. Never forget the distress call that brought me here, to the wreck of the Pilgrim Seed. Never forget the scenes that greeted me. And I know some of you were there too. A rumble of acknowledgement moves through the crowd. But I also know that many of you weren't. That many of you came here to take refuge from other troubles. I'd like you to be able to remember too. You glance at Cadence, her eyes fixed with incredible intensity on Karman. They look wet in the glow of the light strips. There were thousands of refugees on the Pilgrim Seed, and too many, far too many were lost. Those from Ember's Sep, Ember's Song, Ember's Hearth. Those from the Three Sisters, from Erlin's Eye. Many are not here in Olivera any longer, taking their own paths across the belt and beyond. But we acknowledge them all, remember them all, lost and found, present and absent. Without them, there would be no colony here. Before the wreck, Olivera was a handful of buried bays, a scrapper hideout. A place for old and tired mercenaries like me to hide themselves from the universe and forget what they had done. When the Pilgrim Seed was wrecked, it brought the universe back to Olivera. I couldn't hide any longer. Karman stares out across the crowd with a hard glare. We built this canteen from the Pilgrim Seed. Built our homes, our farms, our refinery. We built our independence from their failed hope. A rustle of discomfort goes through the crowd. Karman pauses to let this settle. We should not be ashamed or afraid of this. We will remember this gift. We will build on it. This cycle and every cycle after. We will thank them with our actions. The crowd mutters agreement. Karman takes a deep breath and straightens up. A weight seems lifted from him. The weight of testimony. Now, here in this room with you, I will thank them with my laughter. A cheer goes up. I will thank them with my joy, with my celebration. Another roar of approval. We will all thank them as loudly and as chaotically as we can. The room erupts into cheers and applause, and I am definitely the type to celebrate like a sailor. You cheer and applaud too. You whoop, and Seraphim laughs nearby. You feel a pair of hands on your arm, Cadence pulling at you, grinning and crying. You feel another hand on your other arm, Seraphim dragging you into the crowd. Suddenly you are in the thick of the crowd. So many bodies in one room, dancing and spinning and shouting. It's like nothing you've ever seen. You notice the rest of the crew in the melee, a flash of a familiar face here and there among the mass of colonists. You see Xander being thrown up in the air by a group of different kids of different ages, laughing madly as he bounces off the ceiling. And for the rest of this cycle, you think about nothing else but the joy of those around you, and the joy it instills in you. Another flicker in the dark before waking, and a numbness that follows soon after. You wake slowly and stare out at the flickering stars and the distant rocks of the belt. the thoughts of fear or panic wash over you. They pass like the soft dust of the belt, disappearing into darkness. You find yourself once more, as you do every morning, as you will continue to do cycle after cycle, until you can't. You wonder what part of you has changed, what system is failing. Your frame is silent, its complaints only felt in ambiguous sensations. The glitches seem random, unpredictable, but also inevitable. They'll only increase in number until you reboot yourself. But you do not know what lies beyond that. At least the glitches are dependably familiar. The reboot is anything but. You wake up in your berth, the same light that always shines on the belt, shining incessantly through the window. You are slow to rise, slow to begin this fresh cycle. At some point, Seraphim arrives back onto the rig, with no indication of whether he slept or not. You find him in the cockpit, leaning in the pilot's chair, looking out the lights of Olivera and smiling. "Good body," he chuckles. "Not sure I've seen anything like it." "Same." Seraphim laughs again. "You really let it all go, huh?" He shakes his head. "I'd love to see it." Seraphim yawns and stretches. "So," he sniffs, "Olivera's all fixed up. Colonists are happy, blah blah blah. Where to now?" "Don't you want to stay?" "Here?" Seraphim shrugs. "Yeah, still a bit too much of a backwater for more taste." He grins. "Cadence understands. Don't worry." Seraphim pauses a moment, something passing over him that makes him shiver. "I heard from Tala." He looks away. "Wellspring is still in transition. The Union Council's taken over. Kirk got what he wanted. The blockade will come down soon, but..." He sighs. "I'm not sure I'm ready to revisit that place yet." He looks at you and smiles. "When I come back to Tala, I want to have something to show for myself, you know?" "Yeah, I get it." "Family," he shrugs. "Maybe once the reboot is done, once blockade is down. Maybe we can visit then." Seraphim takes a breath. "We'll get there. Some cycle soon." You aren't sure if Seraphim is trying to convince you or himself. He stretches, shaking off his feelings. "For now, though, Belt's his eyes to explore. Olivera filled our fuel tank, so it really is up to you where we go." He gets up. "Well, you're deciding. I'm going to dig up some breakfast." He glides out of the cockpit. Take a moment to look out across the tiny lights of Olivera, dwarfed by the crater and the wreck that sits at its far end. Not bad. Not bad at all, you think. So, just I want to point it out, the Pilgrim Seed is the flagship of the Hearth refugee fleet that you would see in the DLC for the first game. Now, I never played the DLC for Citizen Sleeper 1 on the channel. I played it on my own time. It was very fun. I did enjoy it. A lot of characters that you'll see in some of the side missions are actually from the DLC. Or even from the original game in the case of, like, Tala. Like, Tala is from the first game. So, you know, it's very cool getting to see everything, kind of seeing where everything ended up. Like, seeing, what was her name? Aki. Like, seeing Aki again on Greenbelt as the administrator, and knowing what happened to her fleet and her parts of the ship, that was sad. But, like, Step Silk was something that was introduced in the first game. As well as, depending on your actions, that ship had a plant on it that could synthesize stabilizer. But we never recovered that. We did not know that was there. There's a plant that can grow stabilizer, and we never get to see it in this. And there's a good chance that plant just fully went extinct when... Jeez, what? The Wind's Long Shadow? When that one was destroyed, there's a good chance that that also was destroyed permanently. Which is a little sad to think about. But that's just the way of the belt. Nothing is forever. Alright. Scatter yards and then jump to Darkside. I believe that is the last of our tasks out here. Darkside, here we go. Alright, let's put this thing to bed. You watch as the last stack of crates is guided up and out of the cavernous Utsubo safe house. You doubt it'll be long before this space is filled. Darkside will not tolerate a vacuum for long. The city takes every opportunity. Inhabitants build in every crack and crevice. As Utsubo's spaces are cleared, they will be occupied. The gang's legacy will be buried under factories, kitchens, markets, and housing. The people will remember the cold and desperate grip they once held on this place, even if the city does not. Come to gloat. The voice takes you by surprise. You turn to see Orin, floating in the shadows, arms folded. He drifts forward into the pool of yellow light. You overthrew a tyrant. You should be pleased with yourself. His tone is flat. You're unsure how to read his statement. It wasn't just me. Many people did this. I suppose. Orin eyes you. But from what I heard, you burnt those pale eyes out of his skull. He smiles a thin smile. I imagine it was quite the sight. You don't recall the moment of Laine's death. In fact, the abstract nature of that moment, almost dreamlike, means you had almost forgotten. You tense a little as a scream comes back to you, a screech of white noise bathed in white light. Orin is still watching you. He almost would have respected you for actually doing it. Orin inspects his knuckles. If he could have respected a creature like you. Screw you, Orin. He grins, pleased your response. We're all on the same side here, sleeper. I came here to clear out the old disease, just like you. Orin gestures to the space. Utsubo had to go, and I came here to be a part of that process. You can't burn everyone you don't like out of this place, I'm afraid. Orin folds his arms. This is our home, whether you like it or not. I didn't like Laine. It's hard to imagine anyone did. He saw Darkside for the opportunity it was, and woke Utsubo from its slumber. He turned a gang into an administration, and a city into a machine. He was too erratic for my taste, perhaps, but he held this place, shaped it into something. I see that you have no intention of doing the same. So what will happen now? Orin meets your eye. You have created a space that must be filled. Will you take responsibility for that at least? Are you saying it should be you? The question is, will you say otherwise? Orin glares at you. I have been here longer than you. Longer than Laine. This is my city. I am not asking for your permission. I just want to get a measure of the sleeper that put down Laine. Orin shakes his head. But I can see now you are just a machine. In the end, I should thank you. This city was done with Laine. Orin gives you a nod. I will be honest enough to admit that you did what I didn't. But never forget that you are an outsider here. And Darkside hates outsiders. Before you can respond, Orin kicks off and glides up towards the upper levels of the safe house, leaving you alone in the empty space. Though you do not put weight to his words, they still sting. Perhaps you think there is something to them. Who are you to decide the future of a city when your own future is falling apart each cycle? Is your decline a spiral that can trap others in its wake, or a necessary transition? The crisis before a new shape emerges. You hug your arms close to your side, suddenly cold in the stripped bare safe house, and ascend once more. Alright. Well, that's all of our drives done. Let's see what Cadet is up to. Cadet's dispatchers can't do every cycle. She welcomes the help with directing riders and packages. And there's Cadet is short-staffed and happy to lend you an air bike, take packages all across Darkside. Yeah, you know. It's our last day here. Let's help an old friend with her new business. You lock in for a shift. By the end, Cadet seems happy about how you ran the routes. Oh, you want to see locking in? This that you lock in. You're on dispatch for Cadet, and she's impressed. Maybe you have a future in this line of work. And I'll throw my glitch dice, just see what happens. You crash the bike in a cramped tunnel on the sunward side. You limp back to an irritated-looking cadet. Alright, that's where we end that shift. You know what? We finish it off. This is the best tempura on Darkside. Kenta's method for frying crisp and fluffy tempura in 0G is remarkable. Many have tried to replicate it and failed. But I believe this is where our adventure comes to an end. We've watched all of our companions find a place for themselves in Darkside. Now to see where we go. You need to be rebooted to have any chance of surviving, but the outcome is unclear. This step will mean big changes, no matter what happens. You wait outside the shop where Bliss is set up, and turn Seraphin's coin over in your hands. You're ready. You turn Seraphin's coin over and over in your fingers as you stand in Flicker Row, crowds pushing past on their way to whatever future awaits them. Your fingers glide over the worn metal as you imagine Seraphin's have, Tala's have, in moments of anticipation. Perhaps others, perhaps the coin, came to be Tala's. Perhaps others, before the coin came to be Tala's, have repeated the same ritual, the same nervous routine. Their fingers were human, born, not made. This intrusive thought makes you slip the coin into a pocket quickly, as if it had delivered a shock. You hear a hiss, and the door of the shop slides open, revealing Ankita. You see her eyes scan the crowds, almost defensively, before she spots you there and nods your direction. Hey, Ankita. She looks around for a moment, then approaches you. She looks tired, but her stubborn ferocity bubbles under the surface. Bliss is waiting for you. She nods back towards the shop, which I guess is why you are hanging around out here. Nervous? Of course. She looks around at the crowd. Look, Sleeper. If you want my advice, you have to find a way to keep up with yourself. Change is constant, but sometimes you can get left behind. Ankita looks away, the signs of Flicker Row reflecting in her eyes. I just remembered. I owe you an explanation. I promised to tell you why I wanted Utsubo out if we managed it. She shakes her head. I guess I'm not very good with promises. It's been like 7 cycles, Ankita. But, better late than never. Why did you? Ankita is still staring at the signs. I grew up here, Sleeper. Did you know that? Doesn't wait for an answer. After I came to the belt, after Bliss and I... She pauses, not wanting to say it. When I had nothing left, this is where I came. And when I got here, my home was gone. She grimaces. Those Utsubo bastards had destroyed it, strangled the life out of it. I was looking for something to fight for on my own terms. Darkside became that for me. She sighs. That's all you're getting. Promise kept. Ankita looks over her shoulder. Look, Bliss wouldn't be happy if they saw me out here chatting to you when you're already late for your appointment. She smiles to herself. And I don't need more reasons for Bliss to be unhappy with me. She grabs you by the shoulders and steers you towards the shop's entrance. I'll catch you after. Don't you worry. He pushes you towards the door, and then turns away and disappears into the lights of Flicker Row. You take a final moment, and then will yourself inside, leaving the glimmering lights and the shifting crowd behind. Bliss is perched at a console. They turn as you enter. Finally! They smile weakly. You're making me think you wouldn't show. I saw Ankita outside. Oh, yeah. Bliss looks away. We're talking again. She has a lot to do, and she needs the backup. I don't think Ankita does very well unless she's busy, so it's for the best. Bliss shrugs. I don't think she'll ever change, but people surprise you sometimes. They smile tentatively. Anyway, Bliss sighs. This is not what you're here for. We need to focus on the reboot. I'm sure Seraphin told you, but everything is ready. Bliss gestures at 2 couches, with straps, freshly built connectors, and a bundle of wires at one end. I hope it'll be comfortable for you both. Feeling confident? As confident as I can be, Sleeper. Bliss goes over to one of the benches to triple-check the connector wires. This is uncharted territory for us all. I've run tests and simulations, but Each sleeper is different, and you in particular are so very different from your stock frame. Flint has been very patient in allowing me to use them as a reference point. Bliss forces a smile. It's you who's doing me the favor, Bliss. Flint leans in the open doorway, watching you both. Their pale face seemed even more drained of color than usual. Flint comes inside the shop and nods to you. Let's do this. They take a shaky breath. I'm ready. Flint and Bliss go silent, and the sound of the crowds outside filters gently into the room, mixing with the whine of the air cycler and the hum of the terminals. There's not much more to say. Bliss looks at you both. Okay, they pause. Let's begin. Bliss helps you and Flint onto your couches. You settle there and slide your arms and legs into the straps that will keep you in place. The connector, with its thick bundle of wires, waves above your head. It is hard not to feel exposed, lying here on your back, anticipating what is to come. Even harder when the memory of waking up to this very same ceiling, with its bundles of dangling tech and scratched plating, forces itself into your mind. You have been here before. Last time you woke up to fear and panic, woke to a desperate escape and a scattered mind. A reboot interrupted. The thought sets you trembling. But then, staring up at the same ceiling, the trembling dissipates. After all, you are back here now. That means you survived this crisis, grew from it. You took the hit and bounced back, unbeaten. All good there? Bliss's face floats into your vision. All good. Bliss smiles. How about you, Flint? You turn your head to see Flint lying beside you, stiff and still. They manage a tight-lipped nod. Looking at Flint staring up at the ceiling, like you were a moment ago, you feel a rush of sympathy. After all, they haven't faced this before like you have. They're stepping into a future they cannot see. You have been here before. Now you are just completing the journey. Reach out to him. You raise an arm, reaching across the gap between the couches, and your hand touches Flint's. They do not look at you, but they grip your fingers in there tightly. Flint's fingers feel different to human fingers. The thick vinyl skin, the repair patches, the pressure of the metal skeleton beneath. You know this is what your touch feels like too, and that recognition is like a connection being made. You close your eyes and feel something flowing between the two of you. A solidarity so embodied that it reverberates within you. I'm taking you to the terminal. Bliss's voice already feels distant, lost in the noise. You feel the cold click of the connector, the sense of flowing data. I'll be here when you wake up. In the dark, you feel restless. You shuffle your fingers, adjust your position against the couch. It takes you a moment to notice the sound has gone. The rumble of the crowds, the hum of the machines. This detail unsettles you, so you search for reassurance. You think of Bliss's words, I'll be here when you wake up. You focus on them, on the possibility of waking up, being somehow renewed. But what would that renewal look like? Your eyes blinking into the lights of Flicker Row, Bliss, Seraphim, and a renewed Flint beside you. But what then? I dare say it would be travel. A line stretching out on a screen, a vector leading you ever onwards. Why stop now? But how far does the line stretch? What does it encompass? I would say the belt. This soft curve of rocks, bridging the edge of the system and space beyond. There's enough here for a lifetime, maybe more. Emerging in the shadow of the collapse. Where does the vector terminate? I would say, well, at Oliveira, of course. For a long time, you thought Seraphim would run forever. Something changed in him. First in Wellspring, then Oliveira. That haven amongst lifeless rocks. Perhaps that place might orchestrate a shift in you too. There is a future in that colony, one more fresh and fragile than anywhere else in the belt. It is built weld by weld, refugee by refugee, promise by promise. An image, one such promise, made by seraphim to cadence and returned in kind. A celebration that rumbles through the colony with joy. In the aftermath, plans are made, ones that will take an eager lifetime to fulfill. What more could you desire than the ceaseless project of building a future for those you love? The thought arrives with a solidity and power that settles your mind. This is what it means to live. Then you feel it. The insistent pulling of a thread. The unraveling of your very self. The reboot comes on slow, an icy seeping into your mind. Little pieces of you flake off in the flow, fading with distance. You hear a voice, Bliss's voice, so far away now. You reach for it, stretch your every sense towards its familiar warmth. I'm starting the reboot. It is a whisper into the wind, pulled away from you the moment it is spoken. See you on the other side. All of a sudden, you wish you could make it stop. The incessant entropy of time, the tumbling of rocks through space, getting further apart every cycle, disappearing into the vacuum ahead. The decay of cells, the degradation of code, the corrosion and rot and rust. You wish in this moment to freeze it all. You might hang on to it, preserve the warmth, the light, the softness of the heart of things. This thought grips you, tears into you like fear. You feel the ice creeping in and know that everything will be lost. If not now, then mere moments away. But then you feel it. Impossibly. Seraphim's coin, worn smooth by worry, turning in your hand. Time has been pressed into that coin by hands, by fingers. It is a near infinite record of transient touches, each one shaping it in some small way. It is worn and worthless. It is bent and broken. It is beautiful in all of those things. And so you press your thumb against it, your crooked, callous thumb, again and again, because you are a broken thing, and you have nothing left but that brokenness, and the beauty that shines through it. And then, somewhere nearby, a button is pressed, and all at once, one thing ends, and something new begins. Man, I love these games. I'm just gonna sit for a bit and enjoy this. I really do like the Citizen Sleeper games. I think I do prefer the first one, because the second one is a bit more linear. Like, the feel of this game is... it feels like where you end up. It will... in Citizen Sleeper 2, it feels very linear. In the case of, there are things you're always forced to do. And in doing that, you're kind of pushed along the same trajectory, same vector in a little bit. I think the main thing with the second game is you get to tell the story of how you got there. It's less a story of what you decided, and more of the choice you made along the way. In the first game, it's a lot more freeform. Like, you are on a station. You don't know what you're doing. You are stranded. You have to find your own way. You forge your path through Erlin's Eye. You can go the entire game without ever going to, like, most of the areas. My first time playing the game, I didn't even know there was a hub section. I did everything down in the ring. There was a whole area I did not go to. There are other areas besides I never unlocked. Aeneas, in memory of Jed Gillimack. But these games are really beautiful. I have no idea if they plan on doing a DLC for Citizen Sleeper 2. I would love it if they did, because I would love to see more of this game, of this world that they made. But yeah, I like the story that they made so far. And I hope other people do as well. But that is the story of our sleeper. There are many things that can go wrong, many things that can go better, many people you can meet and recruit. And if you've enjoyed this, I hope you will end up playing it yourself. I think it's definitely a game that's worth experiencing.